Hi, everyone. It's Lee here, one of the program coordinators with the TRU chapter Pro Bono Students Canada. I'm just logging on here to give you a recording of what would have been tonight's info session. I understand y'all have something much more fun to do tonight. So I'm just going to run through our info slides. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at tru.pbsc@gmail.com or leave a comment below asking your questions, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So with that said, I'm going to turn my screen share on and go through our slides. Bear with me. Okay. So Pro Bono Students Canada, the TRU chapter. So what is PBSC? Pro Bono Students Canada, or PBSC, is an award-winning national organization that works with local community partners to host law student placements. PBSC is on a mission to provide free legal support to people in communities facing barriers to justice. Founded in 1996 at the University of Toronto Faculty of Law, PBSC has grown to involve chapters at 22 law schools throughout Canada today, involving 1,700 students and working with 450 community partners and their clientele. So we are the largest pro bono organization in the country. As a PBSC volunteer, you provide pro bono legal services under lawyer supervision to increase organizational capacity and ultimately support access to justice. So essentially, we at PBSC provide that additional person power to organizations working on the front lines of the access to justice crisis. Why is access to justice important? Well, most people throughout the course of their life will need a lawyer at some point. And when these services are unattainable for many communities, then what we have is really a two-tiered legal system that only serves those with the financial means. And this is not justice, but a systemic failure. So PBSC works to bridge that justice gap, provides a platform for students to do real legal work for a live organization supervised by an insured lawyer. It's a very practical way to prepare for your legal career while giving back to your community. So I've included here sort of a framework of our vision and basically how we operate. So PBSC is guided by its values of dignity, equity, and humility. We value impact over intention, and this is reflected in our project development, which is done in collaboration with community organizations to ensure that the project deliverable will assist the community in need. So we're not in the business of making projects just for the sake of making projects. Although it is excellent hands-on experience, it contributes in a meaningful way, and it's felt in our communities. So here is sort of an overview of how PBSC works in an academic year. So in September, we open applications. Folks are encouraged to submit an application before the deadline, which is Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. Volunteers then get matched to their particular projects and participate in mandatory PBSC training. By the first week of October, folks are encouraged to reach out to their organizations and the lawyer supervisors they'll be working with. Then they start working on their projects for 3 to 5 hours a week from October through November. December is a blackout period, so volunteers are not expected to do any work at this time. This is for you to focus on your studies. Then projects pick back up again first week of January through the end of March, where volunteers will continue with their 3 to 5 hours a week. So projects wrap up on March 31st. And that is an overview. Not included on this chart, we do have 2 monitoring meetings wherein you will meet with Abigail, the other program coordinator, and or myself to check in with the progress of your project. One happens in the fall semester and the second happens midwinter semester. This is really just a good chance to troubleshoot any issues you may be having or to check in. And yeah, so we've got our monitoring meetings. We will also have the option to attend research support sessions and community building events throughout the year. In terms of community building events, like for example, last year we had a bonfire barbecue at Inks Lake, or a trivia pub night, which was really fun. And things like that. We like to encourage folks to, put their studies aside for a couple hours and just unwind and really spend some time with your peers and your PBSC volunteers. So something else to add is PBSC projects don't run over the course of the summer. However, we are launching 2 projects this year, the consent project and the gender marker and name change ID clinics, where there will be a space available for a project lead who could volunteer, although in a lesser capacity, over the summer to get those projects ready for the fall, sort of a thing. That would be done in collaboration with the summer program coordinator. If you're interested, you can ask us about those, but all of our other projects, they don't run over the summer. All right, so we have 3 types of projects that we engage in each year. Legal research and writing projects, where students research and write legal memos, reports, case summaries, prepare blog posts, etc. These projects, you'll be working with organizations like COPSIPE, the Canadian Association of Elizabeth Fry Societies, the Federation of Asian Canadian Lawyers BC, National Self-Represented Litigants Project West, the Restorative Justice Association of BC, and more. Like I said to most of you who came by today, the legal research and writing projects are really a great way to get that hands-on experience with your legal research and writing, which can be daunting at the beginning of 1L. So these are great projects suitable for all years, but I would encourage 1Ls to particularly pursue these ones. We also have public legal education projects, where students develop plain language resources and deliver presentations to increase access to justice. So you'll work with organizations like the CFBX Radio X station or Kamloops Pride, the Kamloops District, Kamloops and District Elizabeth Fry Society, and more. And then we have our client intake and assistance projects where students work on client files to provide legal information and or other supports of advocacy and support. So these projects, particularly, we have the Legal Aid BC Live Help, the Amici Curiae Friendship Society Legal Forms Workshop, and new this year, we have the PBSC Gender Marker and Name Change Clinic, which will be in session in the winter semester 2023. So those are the 3 typical projects that you'll see. You can check out our website, trupbsc.ca, for more details on the specific projects. But those are the types that we offer. Moving on. So PBSC versus the TRU Community Legal Clinic. We are often confused for being the TRU Community Legal Clinic. So I'll just go over the differences. First and foremost, so PBSC, students provide a range of legal services to the community partner to which they are matched. This gives students the opportunity to integrate with our partner organizations and the community which they serve. Each student connects with and receives mentorship from their lawyer's supervisor, who is unique to their project. PBSC projects are open to all years, and it's a volunteer commitment of 3 to 5 hours a week. There are no prerequisites or courses required to get involved. And as I said, it's open to all years. So this is a big one for 1Ls because this is something that you can participate in this year. Whereas the TRU Community Legal Clinic, it's only open to upper years. It is a 4-credit experience. You volunteer 16 to 24 hours per week, depending on the credit amount. You have to apply for it, and you have to have taken or be enrolled to take the community lawyering course. So they are different. They're both wonderful. And I'll move along. So why be a PBSC volunteer? Well, the biggest one is, or biggest benefit is probably the experiential learning element. It is the only volunteer position that TRU Law offers that has experiential learning for 1L students. As I said, these are real, it's real legal work with live organizations, so you really get that hands-on legal experience. It's a great way to develop your legal skills, including your research and writing and advocacy skills, but also your soft skills like interviewing, professional communications. And it's a great way to get involved in your community. You can learn about the Kamloops and other BC communities and the gaps in the services that these local agencies are trying to address and the type of work that's available. It's a wonderful way to network with fellow law students, including students from other PBSC chapters, the UVic and the UBC chapters. We have a couple of shared projects with them. So some of our projects you'll be connecting with the PBSC volunteers at their chapters. And it's a good way to network with lawyers and professors, members of the legal community and community organizations that are here in Kamloops, and really get to know those folks. Sometimes it can be an opportunity to lead to potential articling positions, such as at the Kamloops and District EFRI. I know they take an articling student typically each year, and we have a project with them. So it's a great way to introduce yourself to those folks and get your foot in the door. And additional training. So PBSC volunteers receive additional anti-oppression training by Shazila Jamal. We also provide extra Westlaw legal research training, and PBSC general training includes a bit on professionalism and ethics, and as well as the difference between legal information and legal advice. So on the latter, you will hear from Professor Ted Murray, who's a prof at TRU Law and also the staff lawyer at the TRU Community Legal Clinic. So yeah, it just provides that additional training. And there are other benefits to being a PBSC volunteer. Stop by our booth at Club Days on the 12th, and you can ask any one of us, on what our experiences were. And yeah, I'll move along. So I'll introduce the chapter. The TRU chapter, we have 2 program coordinators, myself and Abigail, as well as 2 on-site supervisors. We are lucky enough to have the guidance and mentorship of the Assistant Dean Lana Walker, as well as Professor Andrew Pillier. Lana and Andrew are both incredible resources if you're interested in public law work or access to justice or criminal law. Professor Pillier is also involved with the National Self-Represented Litigants West project. So if you are keen on access to justice, he's a fabulous resource person to talk to. He also teaches family law and civil procedure. So great opportunity to get to know them. And Assistant Dean Lana Walker comes to TRU Law after working as a criminal defense lawyer for over a decade. She lived in Iqaluit, Nunavut in 2015 to work as a staff criminal lawyer at the Nunavut Legal Aid, and spent a year with the University of Saskatchewan College of Law as the director of the Nunavut Law Program. So yeah, great folks to introduce yourself to if you don't already know them. Yeah, and we're lucky to have them as our on-site supervisors. We are also very lucky to have the assistance of this wonderful executive committee team. TRU has 3 positions on the executive committee. The communications and marketing coordinator, we have Dilprit there. The community events coordinator, we've got Mel and Rosie as our research coordinator. So if you're following any of our social media accounts, you'll see posts on all the updates, important dates and events coming up from Dil. And Mel is also here to support the chapter and PBSC's volunteers by planning 2 to 3 events over the course of the year, which provide you with additional networking opportunities and the chance to unwind in these purely social and optional events. But they're a lot of fun, and it's a great way to get out and just spend some time with your peers, because it's important to take breaks from the books in law school and we would encourage you to open yourselves to these opportunities anytime you can. And Rosie is here to support the 1Ls and any PBSC volunteers placed on legal research and writing projects, because legal research can be daunting at first, and though you'll get some further experience with FLS in the winter semester, PBSC provides the Westlaw Next training. And the research coordinator, Rosie, will be hosting a couple of research support sessions where students who are placed on legal research and writing projects can gather to ask any questions that they might have about how to conduct their legal research for their projects. So these support sessions will be held in November and February, and we'll have some kind of a free food gathering event. So you can't go wrong. And that's our fabulous exec team. So the good stuff, how to apply. Applications are now open. You can go to our website, trupbsc.ca, and it's as easy as selecting the Apply Now button. It'll bring you to a separate application page where you will need to upload your resume and provide a personal statement up to 500 words of why you are applying to be a volunteer. The application will also ask you to identify your top 3 project choices and to indicate your availability. It should take about 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, a little bit more about our projects. This year, we are pleased to offer 20 diverse projects with 18 community organizations, and there will be 52, possibly 55 placements available. Last year, we received 91 applications, so it is quite competitive, and I would encourage you to put a little love into your applications. Spend some time on it. Yes, because it is competitive, and it is a wonderful opportunity that, yeah. And I will move on. Here we go. So the application deadline is Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. Successful applicants will be notified by Monday at 5 p.m. Because then our PBSC training is on Thursday, September 22nd at 1. All communications about project placements will be done by email. So if you're applying, be sure to be checking your email. And our launch event. So I hope you will all join us on Thursday, September 15th from 1 to 2 p.m. in the reading room for TRU's annual launch event. I'm so excited. Lesra Martin is a fabulous speaker, and I'm so pleased that he will be taking the time to come give his keynote address. Hope you all can make it. It's over the lunch hour, and we will have free food and coffee, so it's a win-win. Lesra has an incredible life story that speaks to the power of advocacy for oneself or for others, and to the critical nature of access to opportunities, including access to justice. Yeah, I'm really keen to hear him speak, and I hope you will join us. Yeah, Thursday, September 15th in the reading room at 1 p.m. So lastly, I just want to say thank you to our funders. Obviously, we cannot do the work that we do without the support of our funders, the Law Foundation of BC, Westlaw Next Canada, Thomson Reuters, McCarthy Tetrol, Thompson Rivers University, and the Law Foundation of Ontario. So that brings me to the end of our info session, where I would now ask y'all if you had any questions. Feel free to send me an email or leave a comment on whatever social media platform this is posted upon. I will just say, because we had a good question in our last info session, someone who was curious about any advice on managing balancing the workload as a 1L, because we know first year law is notorious for being a hard one. And so the question that we received was if we had any tips on how to balance 1L plus a PBSC placement, and whether we thought it was manageable. And to that, I would just say that 1L is manageable. You will come out the other end. And it doesn't hurt to have an organizational strategy for really just prioritizing your readings, prioritizing things, and sticking to sort of a schedule. So with PBSC placements. It's 3 to 5 hours a week, which you can, most of the projects, all except for the AC Friends of the Court, which I believe is Thursdays from 5 till 8. Most of our projects allow you to set your own schedule of when you want to do the research. So if you want to spend a Saturday morning and work on your project for the 3 hours or whatever you need to get done that week, up to 5 hours, you can do that. Or you can, take it an hour a day, Monday to Friday, or you can, pencil it in when you have time in the evenings, in the mornings, whatever suits your schedule best. And you will find that you're making these schedules to fit in the readings that you have to do. But that flexibility, I found as a 1L when I was doing I did the radio project. I found that very helpful and I found it manageable. So I might come across as biased, but I did want to address that question because it's a good one and it is asked often. But yeah, feel free to send us any of your other questions or come say hi. Abigail and I will be in the office on the 4th floor, the PBSC office, on Mondays from 2 to 5 and Wednesdays 3 to 5. So yeah, I hope this was informative and that you all had fun today. And yeah, happy orientation week. So thanks so much.